All right, coworkers will never be your friends.
Coworkers are not your friends. Either you fully agree with that statement because you've learned the hard way, or you're rushing to your keyboard to tell me how wrong I am because you haven't learned the lesson yet. So let's talk about the reasons why coworkers are not your friends. Have you ever worked in a company where everyone that you worked with was really close? No.
Yeah, for anybody that works at a regular day job, especially like a corporate day job, you got to be kind of leery about the type of friends you make, because your coworkers, they're your coworkers. You see them every day. Oh, let's just watch the video because I have some.
Not only did they spend time together for formal after-work activities like team building events,
like
but it always seemed like people from work were choosing to spend time together, going to happy hour, trivia night, spending time together at the weekends. You might have been excited about this. Your job came with a group of friends. Great, right? But what happened when someone left the company or when you left the company?
Yeah,
you get removed from
them.
the team group text and all of a sudden your phone becomes much quieter. Naturally, you also see your work friends less because you're not spending more than 40 hours a week together in the office. Sure, at first you call each other, you text, you see each other, but they're busy, you're busy, and the time between those interactions gets further and further apart. Until one day you realize just how far apart you've drifted when you find out about their new job through a LinkedIn notification.
Yeah.
This is to be expected with 98% of the friends that you make at work, because work friendships are situational. I'm not gonna.
Okay, she said it right there. Your coworkers, you can meet good people at your job, especially in corporate. But at the end of the day, we're all there to work a job. It's not, I didn't really apply and go to college and get these certifications to go hang out with people. We came to make money and move the business forward. And then hopefully maybe either grow in the company or branch off, work for another company, or start your own stuff. But you don't go there to make friends. Friends kind of can come along with it, but it could kind of hurt you in the long run. You don't want to be too buddy-buddy with your coworkers because it can turn against you.
It sucks when this happens. I still have a bunch of old work friends that I miss, but life happens. While I think this is the saddest reason why coworkers can never really be your friends, it's not the most problematic reason. Because what can underlie a workplace friendship might sabotage your career and your wellness. I've got a theoretical situation for you. The promotion you've been working hard for finally opens up. You excitedly apply and you don't hold back from telling your work friends about it, which is how you find out that your work friend Haley also applied. There's only one spot open for this promotion. Haley's your friend and she knows how bad you want it. So how do you feel? This is something.
Competition. It's gonna happen in the workforce, especially when you work at a company where it's a lot of younger hires. Everybody's competing to get to the, most people. I said younger hires because a lot of the younger folks, I'd say people who are maybe younger than 40, they all want to move up because, honestly speaking, you have people that have been in the same position for over like 30 years and they're content. But then you have other folks that want to move up in the company as quick as possible and take on more responsibility and get more money. So yeah, you're going to compete with your friends. This is why I said don't get too tied up with your coworkers as like your homies, because it could turn against you.
Happened to so many of my clients. Some of them felt betrayed by Haley when this happened.
Yeah.
For others, they felt a massive shift in the dynamic of the relationship because even if they weren't competing, they felt like Haley was competing with them. Haley made herself into the competition, even though they had positioned themselves as the only and obvious choice for that promotion because they had been leveraging their UAQ. If you don't know your UAQ yet, go ahead and download my free UAQ starter kit. What's even more telling? What happens when one of you gets a promotion? When you get the promotion, will they truly be happy for you? If they get the promotion, can you truly be happy for them? No matter what the situation is with you and Haley, one thing that you will not be able to change from there on out is the office gossip that goes along with it. The you versus Haley narrative has been constructed. It's all anyone can talk about and everyone has taken a side. One of you is the victim, one of you is the villain, and you don't want to be either of those things. In the workplace, Politics and power underlie each one of the relationships that you build. But perhaps in this situation, something more sinister was at play, and Haley isn't who you thought she was.
Yeah, I'll tell you, politics in the workforce. They should literally make a whole class in college about how to navigate through the corporate world. More times than not, if you go to college, you're going to end up in the corporate world unless you're doing like, I don't know. I don't think most people unless you go to community college, but university, most likely you're going to be in like the office and working in the corporate field. It's, there's ways to navigate through it. Again, to her first point, not everybody is your friend, but you want to be really cordial with the people that can help move you forward. Because at the end of the day, you have people that you're cool with. There may be a small chance where you might make friends there, but at the end of the day, you want to move forward. You want to get promoted. So you want to do that by any means necessary without stepping on toes.
One thing we need to be honest about is the fact that people are going to work to get a paycheck. We also exist in a culture where people are trying to get promoted, make more money, and gain more influence. These desires themselves are not good or bad, they just are. However, how some humans choose to conduct themselves in order to achieve these desires is a whole other story. Like me, I know a lot of you think beyond yourself, and you're not always making decisions solely based on what's in your own best interest. And you also assume that other people conduct themselves this way. But this is not the reality. Human nature is self-protective, and most people will prioritize themselves. Don't believe me? Watch what happens when there's a bonus for a top performer or a Jimmy Choo sample sale in New York City. Things get wild. We also can't shy away from the fact that there is a small percentage of people who intentionally do harm out there. After all, corporate culture rewards characteristics that overlap with the symptoms of psychopathy. On the note of corporate culture though,
I'll tell you this real quick. Going back to the point of being a younger hire, when you come into a company where you may be younger, fresh out of college, you're going to have a lot of people that may be older than you that are going to try to keep their foot on your neck. There's a lot of folks that come into companies that are way overqualified. People that come into companies that literally know the ins and out to the business. Maybe not the business, but they have the skills to get the job done. If you're that person, you may encounter people at your job that see that, and they may want to, I don't know, just kind of diminish what you got going on, because they know that you're overqualified. Especially if you go to a company that's been around for a minute, you may be working with people that don't have college degrees, and you just came out fresh out of college, certifications to the ceiling, and you're coming into the game. They're looking at you like competition, like, dang, this young cat may take my job or something.
Something else we need to talk about. Ping
This is why you don't want to be friends with everybody.
Tables and comfy couches. Free food. Annual employee retreats that are really just big parties camouflaged as corporate events.
I've never done
You
that
have
before.
Everything you need right here. There's no need to leave the office. Let's zoom out a little bit. For starters, are corporations subsidizing fun out of the goodness of their hearts? No. Because you'll notice the ping pong tables generally go unused. The free food is keeping you in the office with no excuse to leave so you can get more work done. And the after-work events and retreats for team building? Well, it's in the corporation's best interest for your coworkers to be your friends. Especially if it gets to a point that the majority of your social life is derived from the people that you work with. When it comes time for you to consider leaving your job, you're not just leaving your job. You're leaving your friends. You're leaving your social life. You're leaving your support system.
Look, honestly, bro, we don't get hired. I didn't go to college to make friends. I went to college to make money and to invest in myself, get a house, get a car, get a big savings account, and start a family. I didn't go to college to make homies, to get a job just to get homies like that. That's why I'm like, look, they want you to feel comfortable at work, because a lot of work that people do in corporate is very monotonous. It's very time consuming. It can get very boring. It's very stressful. So they want you to, be friends with your coworkers. They want that to happen. But at the end of the day, nobody really actually cares about that. companies like Google, some of these more progressive companies that have, they may have like a game room that gets used a lot. They have incentives for people to stay at work. I even heard at Facebook and Google, you can actually get rooms and stay the night there. They want you to spend as much time at work and enjoy work as much as possible. Like it's almost your second home. And then most other companies, you do the 9 to 5, you go home. But yeah, they're not going to be using the ping pong tables as much because people are on edge at work. I'll just tell you this real quick. The economy right now is not really good. So people are on their P's and Q's. They're on their toes. Their head's always on the swivel because the economy is not doing as well as it should right now. I mean, the economy is, I'll just say this. The economy is good, but people are noticing it. Everybody's trying to leverage lean, meaning everybody's trying to get the most for their money. They're trying to literally firing people left and right and trying to get the same amount of work done with fewer people. So people are on their P's and Q's trying to do above and beyond at all times. Like they're trying to do the work like they're just focusing strictly on work because they don't want to get fired.
Much on the line, you're less likely to leave. I've also heard countless stories of this taken to an extreme level. Some of my former clients have even found themselves decreasing the amount of time that they spend with their friends and family outside of work because their professional relationships have taken over their whole lives. In addition, when work is the source of your social life, you're also probably going to work more. Because all your friends are staying late, you might as well too, right? Enmeshed relationships are something I have observed in almost every toxic workplace.
I'm gonna tell you this. More likely than not, if you're working in a corporate office, you're getting paid a set salary, right? So that being said, you don't want to just, if you got a set salary, you have no need to go above and beyond and spend an extra 3 hours after work just to, get your stuff done. I think that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. And this is how the work-life balance gets offset, is because folks, they have these set salaries, but yet they feel obligated to go to these happy hours, which I advise not to go to happy hour. I mean, if you go to happy hours, don't drink alcohol there, because people really want to see you for who you are, type thing. But yeah, staying like 3 hours after work, especially if you have like a 45-minute commute back home, and it doesn't make any sense. It's like you're not living optimal. You're getting paid a set wage and you're putting in extra hour. You're not ever going to get that time back. Time is more valuable than this money you're making. Trust.
Boundaries between coworkers, work, and life don't exist. This can result not only in codependency, where you're relying on your job for a lot more than a paycheck, it can cause an even bigger problem. You can end up relying on your job for your entire identity. Yeah. When your work, social life, and status merge, they become the sole basis of your identity. What happens when it goes away? If I can find it, I'll drop the link in the comments, but it was a year or so ago, I read an article and it featured someone who had lost their job at a big tech company. And obviously she talked about how hard it was psychologically to lose her job. But what was really difficult for her was that her identity was entirely wrapped up in this job that she had, and recovering her self-identity was the hardest part of losing that job. I've also had clients that have been in extremely toxic work situations that have had a hard time leaving because their identity was constructed into their job. With burnout and toxic work culture on the rise, we really need to talk about this more. So what I want you to do now is go watch this video.
You don't want to become a part of your job. You have one life to live. I don't think it's very smart to just marry your job, because when you die, your position is going to get posted possibly tomorrow. Literally. Like, they'll post your position tomorrow.